Hi everybody, welcome to Tech Growth Stocks channel. Today I present you a new episode. Specifically, I will give you 5 top internet stocks for March 2021. So these strong internet stocks have excellent momentum and they have good growth as well. And now they offer attractive entry prices because the overall tech stocks have been coming back heavily over the recent trading weeks. So I think it definitely pays if you watch that video until the end with me and have a look at all of these strong internet stocks. So before I start right off with the first top internet stock, I have to make a short disclaimer. This video does not constitute financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only, so please consider that. And also one more quick note. Please subscribe now to my channel with a link in the description below and hit the notifications bell so that you do not miss any market leading stocks from me, and also so that you do not miss part 2 of the top internet stocks which I will be releasing soon. Okay, so that was it for the intro. So let's start right off with the first top internet stock for March 2021. And as you can see it in the charts, it is Ostk Overstock. I mean, here you can see the long-term chart of Overstock, and as you can see, I mean, Overstock was in a long-term downtrend from around, let's say, January 2018 until March 2020. In March 2020, it made its low, reversed from that low, traded to the upside, and then around April 2020, it broke its downtrend. It broke here the downtrending moving averages, jumped above them, and formed a nice and strong uptrend since then. In the short-term chart here, we see that previous strong up move, and then we see here, let's say since around August 2020, we have been correcting in Overstock. I mean, we came back heavily before we traded, let's say, around $120, came back to $50 to $47, and then we had this correction phase, and then we had a rally attempt in Overstock starting around January 21, and we had a strong up leg in the stock, but now with the overall tech pullback, we came back again with Overstock, and now we are at, I think, at cheap entry levels in Overstock. So I think from a technical standpoint, current position could be attractive in Overstock. When we look at the growth characteristics for Overstock, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish. It's minus 146%, but the sales growth is very good with 98%. And the relative strength rating is excellent as well with 98. So with these strong characteristics regarding the sales growth and relative strength, I think Overstock is definitely a top internet stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Overstock. So now let's have a look at the next top internet stock for March 2021, and it is Wayfair. Here you can see the long-term chart of Wayfair, and as you can see, I mean, Wayfair had its IPO in September 2014. So it's a quite young company, and why does it matter? Because 95% of the super performance of strong stocks is happening in their first 10 years after their IPOs. So it definitely pays if you watch out for young companies in their first 10 years after their IPOs and get early on board, because they could have huge runs going forward. And Wayfair could be one of them. And yeah, after its IPO, you see it did not break out when we zoom in. No, it broke down. So IPO stocks can be risky as well. I mean, you see, we let's say we traded around from, let's say, after the IPO opening, we traded around $36. We traded down quickly to $18. I mean, 50% correction. Yeah, this can happen in IPO stocks. So it also can be prudent if you wait some time after the IPO until it forms a base or a solid support, yeah, and breaks out from that support or basing area and forms an uptrend. This would be the time to get on board on these strong names. And yeah, with Wayfair, I mean, we have, after its IPO, yeah, we broke down, then we traded up, had a sideways moving period here, then we formed an uptrend, but with rallies and reversals, rallies and reversals, rallies and reversals. And quite recently, last year, we broke down strongly, starting at the end of 2019 and into 2020. We broke down strongly in Wayfair. I mean, before we traded, let's say July 2019, $151, we broke down to, let's say, around $25, $26. I mean, this is a way strong breakdown. And last year in March 2020, we made that low with that breakdown, and we reversed from that low, traded to the upside, and formed a nice strong uptrend since then. And you can see as well, I mean, we had a quite strong momentum move from the March 2020 low around $26. We moved up to $350. I mean, this is nearly a 15 or 14 times move. It's a strong move, very strong move in Wayfair, and that's why it has very strong momentum. In the short-term chart, I mean, we see that up leg here, that strong up move, and we can see as well recently we have been moving sideways and base building in Wayfair, and and now it looks like we are in this long-term base, which has been developing since August 2020. Now we are at the highs of the base. I think soon we could break out, and Wayfair is looking strong here, especially if you consider the recent pullback in the tech stocks, and Wayfair is still holding up quite strongly here. So I think from a technical standpoint, Wayfair is looking excellent here. And when we look at the growth characteristics for Wayfair, I mean, the EPS growth is sluggish. It's minus 134%, but the sales growth is very good with plus 56%. And the relative strength rating, it's excellent with 97. So I think with these strong characteristics, Wayfair is definitely a top internet stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Wayfair. So now let's have a look at the next top internet stock for March 2021, and it is Sfix Stitch Fix. Here you can see the long-term chart of Stitch Fix, and as you can see, Stitch Fix has been an IPO in November 2017, so it is in its first 10 years after its IPO date. And yeah, after its IPO, I mean, we had an up move here and then a sideways period, a strong rally, but we came back, corrected strongly. Then we had rallies and reversals, rally and reversal, rally and reversal, rally, and the last strong low was in March 2020. We reversed from that low, traded to the upside, and we could break that sideways moving phase here and form a nice and strong uptrend in Stitch Fix since then. And yeah, recently, over the recent trading weeks, we came back heavily in Stitch Fix, and now it looks like we are currently trading near the orange line here, the 150-day moving average. And I think soon we could see a bounce of the 150-day moving average. So overall, I think that current trading level is an attractive entry level for Stitch Fix. And when we look at the growth characteristics, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish, it's negative, with minus 2,758%. But the sales growth, it's okay with plus 11%. And the relative strength rating is okay as well with 82. I think with these characteristics, Stitch Fix is still an attractive small position in the internet space, for a small position in the internet space, because I think soon we could see a bounce and a continuation of that uptrend here. Okay, so that was it for Stitch Fix. So now let's have a look at the next top internet stock for March 2021, and it is Cdna Carvana. Here you can see the long-term chart of Carvana, and as you can see, Carvana was an IPO, also a recent IPO in April 2017. So it could be in it. So it looks like that it is in its high performance phase. And yeah, you see overall we have been in a long-term uptrend with some corrections. Here a stronger correction, and here. So in Carvana, and the last strong correction was with the Corona breakdown, and we made that low with that correction in March 2020, and we traded to the upside and continued strongly with that previous strong uptrend in Carvana. In the short-term chart, I mean, we see that up move here. In that up move, we see here a period of pause, which is a base, and then a breakout of that base. And now it looks like we are pausing again. And I think soon we could continue with the overall uptrend in Carvana from these prices here. And when we look at the growth characteristics for Carvana, I mean, the EPS growth, it's sluggish. It's minus 41%. But the sales growth, it's very good with plus 53%. And the relative strength rating, it's very good as well with 94. So I think with these characteristics, Carvana is definitely a top internet stock for March 2021. Okay, so that was it for Carvana. So now we come to the last internet stock for March 2021 for today. And it is SE Limited. Here you can see the long-term chart of C, and as you can see, I mean, C is a quite young company. It had its IPO in October 2017, and after its IPO, you can see it has a longer sideways moving phase, and then it broke out of that sideways moving phase around March 2019 and formed a very strong uptrend since then. Very nice and strong uptrend. And yeah, in the short-term chart, you see that strong uptrend. And when we look here, for instance, we have the stock just is bouncing off these moving averages. For instance, here it bounced off the 50-day. Here, kind of, you can see here of the 40-day to the upside bounce. Here of the 30-day to the upside, 40-day to the upside, 50-day to the upside. Here's several 50-day bounces. Here, around 40-day to the upside bounce. And yeah, quite recently, yeah, we came back up to the 100-day moving average. And this is a green line here in the long-term chart. And I think soon we could see there a bounce as well. And then an overall continuation with that strong uptrend in C Limited. And also, when we look at the growth characteristics, these are excellent for C Limited. I mean, the EPS growth is very strong with plus 83%, and the relative strength rating is strong as well with plus 100%. And the sales growth is very strong as well with plus 100%. And the relative strength rating, it's okay with 88. So I think with these characteristics, C Limited is definitely a top internet stock for March 2021. Okay, so these were the top internet stocks for March 2021 for today. I hope in that video are some nice internet stocks which you can use for your research. And also, please subscribe now to my channel with the link in the description below and hit the notifications bell so that going forward you do not miss any market leading stocks from me. So please subscribe now. Thank you for watching that video, and I hope you will find this year excellent stock opportunities. And overall, I think this year will be an exciting stock trading and investing year with all that fiscal and monetary stimulus going on around the world from all of these central bank and governments. I think at the end of the year, we will see higher and higher stock prices because of this massive liquidity in the markets. And I think that will flow into stock prices. So I think it definitely pays if you watch watch my videos with the best stocks in the market. And also if you do your research and homework to make the best stock selections for your portfolios. And I think this will give you a lot of benefit going forward. Okay, so thank you for watching again, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.